Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, another review from my previous channel. The lovely Dawn Dunlap in Laura. Let's check it out. This is Paul.
See, I'm 41.
He's a sculptor.
I wonder how Michelangelo was doing when he was 41. I wonder. My heart's not in it. I wonder why. It's my hands that shape the clay, but my heart's just not in it.
This is Maud Adams. Later on, he sees a girl swimming in the water. He's immediately smitten. Next we see a dance school. And a girl that he noticed in the water, we're going to find out goes to this school. Her name is Laura. Maud Adams is her mother, Sarah. Paul wanders into that dance school, and here we see Laura for the first time. That's the actress Dawn Dunlap. Paul is eyeing up Laura, but it turns out Sarah, Laura's mom, knows Paul. It's been many, many years since they've been together.
That explains it.
Mother told me you was in love with her, but that was a long time ago.
On the terrace?
So they're reconnecting now.
Married?
Not really.
Each time I took photographs of you, you were always with one of those young girls.
Well, I'm still sculpting though.
So he offers, he wants to sculpt her. Now, Sarah says, no, she's too young, but she says, you know, I'll take some nude photos of her and you can sculpt her from the photos. So they all agree to do that. I can't show you the poses that she's about to do.
Who is he, Laura? What do you mean, ma'am? Boy, you're in love with. But he's not a boy at all, madame.
So now that Paul has his nude photos to work from, he's sculpting Laura.
Oh, if only I could see you, be near you. I just know you'd understand it all. You'd know. Then you'd smile and kiss me gently. Very handsome tonight, Paul Thomas. Felt like you. What will you now? Or wait till it gets party.
Why not?
So is he going to romance mom and daughter in this film? Will the truth come out here?
I still love you.
I love you too.
No, you don't love me. You love my daughter.
So a fire breaks out at Paul's studio. And unfortunately, some sort of like liquid awfulness drips in his eyes. And now Paul is blind. How is he going to finish his sculpture of Laura, which he started to work on but never completed? And what's Laura going to do that the man she's smitten with is incapacitated for a while? I guess she could think about him. You can still smoke, though. Laura drowns her sorrows by hopping through the field. So Paul returns to his studios wearing some sunglasses from a new wave punk band and his unfinished sculpture.
Paul and Laura know. Boarding school's the best solution.
When Laura's gone, what's going to happen to us?
Nothing. We'll go on. Laura will make new friends at her boarding school. She won't be something.
Laura spends some time with Paul and has a solution to how he can finish.
So you can finish the statue.
Ah.
I'll show you.
So maybe if he can feel her, he'll be able to sculpt her. Basically, that means getting undressed and letting him feel her up. They then consummate their relationship, which I obviously can't show you. Near the end of our film here, he takes off his punk glasses, and can he see or not? Or is he just realized now that he can see without actually seeing? And he was able to complete Laura's sculpture. The film ends with Paul so happy that he jumps in the fountain and splashes around. All right, let's talk about this movie, Laura. This is a movie that I saw back in the late 80s. It used to pop up on cable here and there. It was basically a soft, erotic cable classic type of deal. It's filmed in France, but it stars American actors Maud Adams, who plays the mom, Sarah, and Laura. Laura was played by Dawn Dunlap. Now, if you've seen some of my reviews before, you know I've lusted after Dawn Dunlap when she was in the movie Forbidden World. I thought she was a beautiful actress. Anyway, she's in this, I guess it's kind of a coming-of-age thing. She's a teenager, and she lives with her mom, Maud Adams, and she's in this dance school, ballerina type stuff. And this guy, Paul, this sculptor that apparently her mother knew years earlier, and I guess he sculpted her mother, comes back into town and, you know, reunited with Sarah, and they talk. I guess they were a couple of somewhat at some point. And next thing you know, he becomes infatuated with Laura. He thinks she's beautiful, and he has this idea of sculpting her. Well, mom says, well, I don't know, but maybe I'll take some nude pictures of her and you can use those. And he's like, okay. So she takes a bunch of nude pictures of Laura in various stages of undress and just posing, and gives them to Paul, and he starts sculpting this model. Well, Laura becomes kind of infatuated with Paul too, and she thinks he's cute, and she's kind of smitten with him. But then an accident occurs later on in the film, and there's a big fire in Paul's studio, and he gets some sort of like fertilizer acid or something thrown into his eyes during this, and he basically is blind. So what's going to happen to the sculpture, which hasn't been finished yet? And then Laura has this idea, I'll help you, I'll be your eyes type of deal. So she goes to Paul, takes off all her clothes, and lets him basically feel her up so he can feel the contours of her body and everything. And then based on that, he can continue to sculpt the sculpture until it's perfect. And then, of course, they make love afterwards. And yeah. So anyway, in fact, at one point he's actually romancing the mom too. And even the mom says, you don't love me, you love my daughter. Well, yeah. So that's basically the film. It doesn't really have much of an ending. He's still blind at the end of the film, although he takes his sunglasses off, but he still is blind. I think there's some sort of metaphor that he can now see without actually seeing. He can see the world, whatever. I don't know. It's a bunch of shit, but whatever. That's it. That's the movie. Now, this was directed by David Hamilton. I reviewed another movie of his called Summer at Saint-Tropez, I think it was called. And it's not really a movie, but it was. But he had this habit of, he was a photographer, pretty famous photographer, and he always had this thing for like a young adolescents. He would always film them in not really erotic poses, but a lot of nude photography he did. So he decided to just go the next step and do movies. And I think he used some of his photography models as some of the extras in this movie. In the dance scene, there was a shower scene there too. But I don't know where he found Don Dunlap from, because I think this movie was filmed in France, but Don's from Austin, Texas, and Maud Adams, I believe, is American too. So, but whatever. And he had this habit of filming, I don't know, they call it like a soft lens or something like that. When you look at the picture, it's I don't know how to describe it, actually. It's soft. It's not a hard, crisp picture. It's like you're watching a VHS tape, although this was probably ripped from a VHS tape. I don't know. But anyway, if you're looking for nudity in a movie like this, you're going to find it. That's what this movie was made for. It's an erotic thing. And yeah, David Hamilton, I think a lot of people regard him as a pervert. And it seems to be rightfully so. I don't know, I guess, but I don't know. I just remember when I was a kid, I had a thing for Dawn Dunlap. I thought she was super cute. And then, you know, I'm a teenager, younger than that actually probably, and I saw her naked in this movie. I'm like, wow, awesome. But now I'm like, ooh, I don't know if that's right. But anyway, it is what it is. That's the movie Laura, 1979. Now, again, Dawn Dunlap actually made a total of 6 movies. This was the first. She made Forbidden World, Night Shift. She had a brief role in that one. I think one of those Barbarian Queen movies, something like that. And then she retired from acting. And apparently, she married a billionaire and now goes by the name of Lady Dawn Lowe, L-O-W-E. Although I think she divorced her husband at some point. Finally, you know, every time I watch a Dawn Dunlap movie or review it, I look her up to see if I can find any information. I never could. However, today I did. I actually found some pictures of her. Couldn't find anything on Facebook, but I did find some pictures of her online. Looks pretty good still. You know, she's probably in her almost 60 now, but from what I saw, looked pretty good. So there you go. Anyway, Dawn Dunlap alive and well somewhere in the United States. Check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Laura. Watch it. Bye.